First of all, let me thank you all for your patience through the disruptions today. And let me give a little speech, a little editorial comment, and then I'll go to my questions as well. This is an oversight hearing, obviously, as members of Congress who are charged with responsibility for this area of federal spending. It's our responsibility to make sure taxpayer monies are used prudently and wisely. But I think you'll find in us, some oversights hearing can be a bit raucous and contentious. And of course, if there's something wrong, we need to find it and point it out. But I think the spirit in which we approach this through the leadership of the chairman has been a working partnership. If you see things that aren't right, if you see things that could be done better, if you can enliven your work with a spirit of entrepreneurship so that we can use our limited funds most efficiently, expand where appropriate, maybe pull back on things that are dated and no longer apply, that's very helpful to us in helping you do your jobs as well. And in that regard, let me ask you, Mr. Prakash, I appreciate your comments. Emerging 200, a targeted program for inner cities. You have something under consideration for rural communities that would be concentrated like the Emerging 200?
Thank you for the question, sir. Right now, the Emerging 200 is sort of is standing alone as an inner city program. You know, certainly for rural entrepreneurship, we've had a number of interesting programs go through. First of all, Rural Lender Advantage, which I know again my colleague Mr. Zarnikow has briefed this committee on, or the broader committee. And what we found in the rural areas, you know, the most important thing there is reaching rural communities. Because of the dispersion and the geographic dispersion, we have found that the best tools to reach rural communities, not only through our resource partners, but is through our online training and online tools, and working with local economic development organizations who can deliver those in their places of business. Much like the program Mr. Carroll described. You know, as far as doing a concentrated technical assistance program there is just not enough density to be able to deliver that to rural America, and that's why we've been working through the banking community with Rural Lender Advantage, because the banking community has that scale, has that leverage, and the you know, they have a co-investment and alignment of interest to grow that community.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept, the reason I raise it, and if you look at the work Mr. Carroll has done in terms of coordination of all resources and elevating it to a new concept which gives, I think, real excitement that rallies even small communities around an idea of it being a certified entrepreneurial community. Again, I put it on the table as perhaps an entrepreneurial governmental policy idea, that lifting the best practices from what you're doing there and success stories and applying it in perhaps a more micro way, even though there is, it might not be as concentrated of an area in terms of economic opportunity, need, or population. Nonetheless, the severity in some areas of rural communities that are experiencing significant resource decline and dislocations, which cause tremendous problems and stresses and duress for communities, again, may fit what I was talking about earlier in terms of entrepreneurial policy thinking. So I'll leave that to you all to ruminate on. Mr. Chairman, do we have a few more minutes? It's just about 10 minutes left. Okay. Mr. Blackwell, you had pointed an interesting story about a disabled veteran who has a wonderful success story. What types of entrepreneurial opportunities do you see emerging for disabled veterans? Best fits for people who are suffering from significant consequences of their public service to this country, and have therefore certain limitations on their ability to move and pursue the range of opportunities most of us take for granted. So what do you see as real potential there? Because again, as I mentioned earlier, I think we do need to elevate your good work so that it is widespread and known, but there may be a subset of the niche you're talking about in terms of disabled veterans' opportunities.
There are veterans who have very strong family ties, wives, children, who are able to enter into franchise business as much as the Santiagos were able to do. Joe's traumatic brain injury allows him to be at the building, but it's really his wife Stacy and their 3 daughters that are making this work and give financial stability to that family. So the franchise opportunity continues to grow. That's why we work with the International Franchise Association to make that happen. In terms of severely disabled vets who are able to participate either in homebound business activities or able to go in outbound, we are very actively involved in establishing call centers call centers in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'll come online sometime in the mid-February, or mid-next month. We are very excited because that's 150 seats. They can do that from their home with special assistive equipment. We've made all of our website activities 8A compatible so that all of our activities are available regardless of your disability. We are working, as I mentioned earlier, with Walter Reed to see if an internship program will work with local kind of mini mentors in the area. The first of those folks will be coming into our offices directly to work on the phones and to get direct advice on businesses. So I don't think that there is a specific range of jobs that are available. What we're trying to do is see where the knowledge and assets that maybe the physical liabilities don't allow would allow them to go into either a coordinated activity for counseling other vets in jobs or sharing their information about their professions.
Great. Thank you very much for that. Now, quick question, Mr. Chairman, if it works.
Forward.
Are we 10 minutes in?
No,
we're 5 minutes.
The next bill will be 5.
Thank you for your leadership, Mr. Chairman.